The beauty of indie titles one might find on platforms such as itch.io is that despite their level of polish or length, there's seemingly a deeper level of sincerity and a more personal link between the player and the creator. These interactive experiences don't only look raw, they ooze raw, unfiltered emotions as if the developers are screaming from a rooftop. It's very similar to finding an underground band that doesn't hit all the notes but burns with so much passion and love for the craft, you cannot help but vibe with their music. And when the music speaks to you on such a personal level, you either disregard the dissonance or become enamored with it. This is the particular experience I've had with Glitchhikers' First Drive, released in 2014. It was a heavily narrative indie game that found me at a very peculiar and uncertain point in life and left a huge mark on me as a gamer, game designer, and a human. It had its shortcomings, but the vision and atmosphere were so tangible, I to this day quote phrases from that game as well as revisit the magnificent soundtrack by Devin Vibert. However, strangely enough, I've never revisited the game itself. Much like that game company's journey, I did want to tarnish the original impression of the game and the strong nostalgic memories I have of it. That is, until one day I randomly quoted the game again on Twitter and somehow got to talk to the publisher Silverstring Media about Glitchhikers: The Spaces Between, a follow-up to the original. And now that I got to play the preview build of this reimagined version, I'd like to talk about it. So hop into the car because we're about to go on a synthwave pilgrimage.
This is Radio 90, and you're listening to Night Drive. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Glitchhikers revolves around you taking a night drive in your car through a dimly lit highway with a few vehicles far in between. On this journey, you take on human and otherworldly hitchhikers, each on their own unique journey, and you talk for a bit, until it's time for them to get off. In between these co-rides, you listen to the atmospheric synth soundtrack and the soothing voice of the night radio host. Now, I've purposefully described this in the driest way possible, so you'll understand that there's very little quote-unquote traditional interactivity in the game. Instead, Glitchhikers: The Space Between sets you up on an emotional roller coaster of self-discovery through its narrative design. Each of the numerous hitchhikers you'll randomly pick up on your journey provides an opportunity to learn, contemplate, and reflect upon. It's up to the player how they want to approach these conversations, with multiple dialogue choices presented throughout each interaction. You get to shape the conversation to your liking, whether you want to find out more about your companion or look within yourself, and there's almost always something to take away from the interactions. And most importantly, you can take this journey at your own pace and make it as lonely or social as you like. In my time with Glitchhikers, I have discussed my disenchantment with religion, space travel, death, and heartbreak, and I'd lie to you if I said that these conversations didn't hit hard. I began my journey looking inwards, however, soon enough my curiosity of the characters took over and I began exploring their stories. Now, I don't want to spoil it, but there are moments when you realize just how interconnected everything in the universe is, and that's a feeling that stays with you. Now, when it comes to the difference between the original and this follow-up, it's clearly a more polished and a bigger experience. For instance, if you don't want to drive a car, there's now an option to hop on a train and walk around the coach until you find a perfect spot to relax or someone new to talk to. The overall production value is also higher, however, I can't say I don't miss the original Glitchhikers lo-fi aesthetics, especially when it comes to the sound. From the radio host's new crystal clear and almost omnipresent voice to a more modern sounding soundtrack mix, I sometimes wished there was an option to make the music sound as if it were actually coming from a cheap stereo system. But other than the audio being quote-unquote too good and a few glitches that might as well be intentional, the spaces between superb writing and cast of characters make me want to revisit the full game once it's out in 2022. For old fans of the series, this looks like a perfect opportunity to revisit the conversations from a more mature standpoint, while newcomers are in for a ride that will make them smile, weep, and most importantly, contemplate, which is not something that many games offer these days. Now, if you're watching this video, let me know in the comments below if you've ever played the original Glitchhikers, and if you have, hey, it's turtles all the way down.
Now count back with me, driver. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. This has been Radio 90 Night Drive. Travel safely. Good night.